These are 10 weird things you didn't know about inflation. Firstly, inflation is normal, not some broken system. Prices always creep up over time. So, the same coffee or bus ticket will cost more in 10 years than it does today, even in a stable economy. Next, inflation is mostly invisible. Most people think it's a sudden jump, but in reality, it's a slow rot. Your money is slowly worth less, and most people only notice when it suddenly can't buy anything they used to. Inflation isn't the same for everything. Healthcare, rent, and education often rise faster than the average number you see on the news. So your personal inflation can be way worse than the headline figure. Here's something most people ignore. Your biggest inflation enemy is yourself at the checkout. If you're not paying attention, you'll accept the new price without realizing how much more you're paying over time. It doesn't stop there. Inflation is a double-edged sword. A little bit can be good for the economy, but too much wipes out savings, wages, and entire careers almost overnight. Next, the weirdest inflation stories come from history. In some countries, prices doubled in days, not years, and people literally had to carry bags of cash just to buy bread. And here's a twist. Inflation doesn't just hurt the poor. Retirees on fixed pensions, or people with cash in the bank, get their savings quietly eaten, even if they're not struggling in the typical sense. Next, inflation can be a hidden tax. When prices rise and wages don't, the government gets more money from taxes on higher prices. While ordinary people lose buying power without anyone passing a new law, here's another weird thing. Central banks basically play with inflation on purpose. They raise and lower interest rates to engineer the right amount of inflation, trying to keep it just high enough to keep the economy moving, but not so high it blows up. But the most insane part, weirdly, inflation is one of the most predictable forces in the world. If you leave your money in cash, inflation will almost certainly eat it over time. The only question is how fast. So the next time you hear money is losing value, remember, inflation isn't a glitch. It's the default setting of any modern economy.